Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ACC kickoff here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We have a brand new bowl game that was supposed to be out last year, but it's in a familiar area for everybody in Baltimore. Knows this area, where Fenway Park is up in Boston, where the Red Sox play, and we got the folks from the Fenway Bowl here. It's
Fred Olsen.
and
Brett Miller.
Brett Miller here, the folks who are running the Fenway Bowl. So first of all, welcome to Charlotte. So what's your first impression of being down here with all the media people here in just Western?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Thanks for having us. We're thrilled to be here. As soon as we walked into the hotel, we knew we were in the right place. Fully decked out in the ACC colors, all the teams, uniforms. So we're just so excited to be affiliated with the ACC and can't wait to launch our game this December.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's been great. Again, being back down in North Carolina, I think seeing the people that we've been working with behind the scenes for the last couple of years, and meeting the people that we will, hopefully, knocking on wood, we'll get to work with this December and moving forward. So it's just been great to officially feel part of the ACC Bowl family, and we're excited.
Well, talk about this bowl game. How does this game come about? Because I know Notre Dame and Boston College played a couple of years ago, and I know Rhode Island played, I think UMass or somebody there. Just all those games probably were sold out. Is this because of those games, or what did the city of Boston say? Let's try to get involved with what Yankee Stadium's doing.
Sure, yeah, you're on the right track. When we hosted Notre Dame and Boston College in 2015, it was such a success. Really, the field just lays out perfectly, right in the friendly, very very tight confines of Fenway for sure. But it's a great experience, and we told ourselves that day we want to try to make more of these opportunities come to it. So you're right. We had a series of New England games. Most recently, we hosted Harvard-Yale in 2018. And right around that time is when the bowl opportunity became available. Immediately, we started doing our research and get on the phone with the ACC, with the AAC, with our partners at ESPN, and try to make it happen. And it came together pretty quickly in the end. But yes, you're right. We are very aware of what the Yankees have been doing since the Pinstripe Bowl since 2009, and know that they've been very successful. So we're looking to emulate that as best we can.
Yeah. I've been up to the Yankee Stadium for a Notre Dame Syracuse game, and it looks kind of weird with the center field looking like, because it's a football field and it's going towards center field. And I'm like, and I'm watching the Yankees and Mets a couple of weeks ago, and going, how did they put a field in there? But with Fenway Park, people don't realize this. What's good to you that the Patriots played there back in the '60s.
They sure did.
And I'm wondering how if you're ever going to ask the Patriots to play an exhibition game there, that might be a cool throwback.
It's funny, we were talking about that last night. We fielded that same question, and the answer is to be determined. It's definitely, we'd be lying if we said it hadn't come up and been talked about at least preliminarily. It would be amazing, right? So to your point, based on going back to the history of Fenway, that was before the Shamrock Series game 15. That was the last time football was at Fenway, was the past. And so people don't realize is Fenway was every bit of a football facility as it was a baseball facility, right? I mean, our first football game was 1914, so we had 50 plus years of it before we went and took a little break, right? So we're excited to bring it back and have it on an annual basis again.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the weather, because I know in the Northeast, in December it's not like Florida. It's like 85 degrees. You might get a blizzard. You might get a northeaster. Do you guys have a plan? We might see the first bowl game in a snowstorm, except for the one in El Paso.
Sure. Yes, and of course, one of the first questions that came up when we were discussing with our conference partners, and again, looking at New York, they've had a history of some cold weather games, but it is December. Football is definitely a cold weather sport, no doubt about it. But no, I mean, in all seriousness, looking at the trends of how weather has been, we studied our weather patterns in Boston for the last several decades. Typically, we're in the 40s with not a lot of precipitation, definitely knocking on wood, as we always say these things. But no, we have an incredible grounds crew. We had several winter events at Fenway, both in January and February. And so if it does come down to it, we are prepared to clear snow if we need to.
Yeah, people don't realize you had the Winter Classic a couple of years ago with Bruins and Flyers, so you're used to cold weather out there anyway.
We sure are. I'll tell you what, we're excited it's in December rather than January, because I think around the New Year is when it starts to take a turn. But as people, hopefully a lot of folks, thousands of folks from other states are going to figure out, is December's actually pretty nice in Boston before it takes a turn. So yeah, we've had hockey 4 times, I believe now, and several other crazy events. So a little football game in December, I think it's going to be perfect. And not for nothing, I will say, we were supposed to have a game last year. Our game date, it ended up being, I believe, 65 degrees that day.
Oh, geez.
So just something to look for fans to look forward to for this year.
You must have been sitting there going,
Yeah.
Looking out the window and go,
Our
what's the
assumption
deal?
is it's going to be that way again for the next 5. So.
Exactly. With the bowl game, are you guys going to get a sponsorship? Because I know the best sponsors are maybe Sam Adams. That might be a great sponsor because that's Boston.
Some of our Red Sox partners will have activations at the game, and we'll be looking to announce partners within the next few months.
Okay.
We're still working on a title partnership. Several prospects are in the works. But yeah, you'll hear about those further in the next few months.
That's cool.
Or as we get into football season.
Yeah. So the bowl game is between the American Athletic Conference, used to be the Big East, taking on the ACC. It's like probably the 5th versus 4, or it's all that tier thing.
It's tier, yes. We're working through that right now. It's a fluid situation. Is definitely probably the best way to put it. But we are working very closely with ESPN and ESPN events on that process.
Right.
Who have been helping us along the way and guiding us. The ranges and Brett Miller is our resident football expert. It can vary depending on obviously records and how the conference shapes up.
Yeah, what about college football in Boston? Do you think, like let's say here in the ACC, do you think a Miami might draw up there in New England, or a Florida State, or something? Because I know they're like cold and they don't used to be. You're here in Charlotte in December, and they're like, they start looking at you.
It goes back to your question. It's sort of along the same lines as your question about the cold weather, right? I think it's not a traditional bowl game location is what you think, but that's what we love about it.
Right.
It's the same reason the Pinstripe Bowl success. I think we view Boston as a destination. We view Fenway Park as a destination. I think those combined with the great matchup that we're going to have, regardless of who it is, I think is enough to get people to come up there. And we've seen that with Red Sox games are in the 20s in April and then in November or October, right? So it's I think people are going to see past the weather and be able to come up. And I think going back to the question about our conference partnerships, I think we along with ESPN events, I think we've been given a great degree of flexibility.
Okay.
And everybody is kind of on the same page and committed to getting us a great matchup and providing a great matchup. We know things happen, it changes year to year, but I think it's going to be a good one.
Is it hard to, like down here they're doing like a kickoff classic, and even Atlanta's doing a kickoff classic. Is it going to be tough to have one up there? Because I know the Red Sox play from April to September, and the only time they're off is on maybe a 12-game road trip to the West Coast, or the All-Star break. But you wants to play in July, when But is it in the future you guys might do like a special kickoff classic just to get people to say, hey, we're here, like these people here in Charlotte do?
Sure. No, I mean, you're right. It would be a big challenge during the baseball season, but we have discussed it at least potentially down the road. It would take a lot of pre-planning with, of course, the team, Major League Baseball. So not totally out of the question, but we don't have any at this point.
Yeah. Well, let me let you guys go. Thank you so much. And there's one thing I know, that Sweet Caroline is the greatest song from Neil Diamond, and my girlfriend doesn't like that because I'm a Neil Diamond fan. So it's okay. He's a New Yorker and a true Boston guy because he goes up there once in a while. So it's always good to hear Sweet Caroline when knowing that's a real quick fact. He got mad when somebody started singing that in his concerts, and he's like, "What?" He stopped and he goes, "Hey, I'm the artist. You're the listeners." But he realized it worked.
Yeah.
So, well, enjoy your day today, and thanks for coming, and we'll keep in touch.
Sounds good. Thanks for having us.
All right, cool. We are